Power doesn't always arrive with tanks and flags. Sometimes it arrives as an emergency update, a revised identity record, a sudden supply chain failure, or a video that convinces millions they saw something with their own eyes. In Shadow Wars, Convergence, the world reaches the moment the series has been building toward, the realization that none of the prior crises were isolated. They were components modules tested in different theaters, refined under pressure, and quietly integrated into a single operating system for control. This is the point where influence becomes ownership. Over 5 compressed, relentless days, elections fracture under disinformation, engineered scarcity turns cities combustible, and a Geneva peace summit becomes the perfect stage for a mass-casualty-proof event designed to force governments into signing emergency compacts. The public will be told it's stability. The paperwork will say cooperation. The reality will be a handover of sovereignty to a transnational Stability Directorate, a cartel of executives, former officials, and security architects who believe democracy is too slow to survive the modern crisis era, especially the crises they can manufacture on demand. Against this machine stand 5 people who have survived by becoming ghosts, operators who learned the hard way that institutions can be captured, narratives can be programmed, and even a human identity can be flipped from citizen to criminal with a keystroke. Michael Reed moves like a quiet blade through off-grid terrain and hostile surveillance, hunting the hunters before they can close the net. Sarah Vance plays counter-tradecraft with ruthless precision, reading the shape of deception the way others read weather. Daniel Rourke, diplomat and sniper, understands that summits are not just speeches and handshakes, they're pressure valves where history can be forced to turn. Sam Harlan keeps people alive and keeps teams functional when stress fractures loyalty, while Ethan Stroud assembles scattered intel into something rarer than proof, an executable plan. They are not joined by convenience, but by necessity. Each has fought alone and paid the cost of isolation. The finale demands a different kind of courage, trust. Because this enemy isn't one villain with a weapon, it's an infrastructure. It is truth control via identity resolvers and emergency networks. It is money and contracts weaponized through offshore finance hubs. It is private armies built through coercion and propaganda. It is deepfake and biometric spoofing that can erase the real and install the manufactured. If the Directorate can control identity, networks, and supply, it can control reality, and if reality becomes programmable, consent becomes obsolete. The book's tone is endgame escalation, geopolitical, domestic, cyber, and kinetic lanes converging into synchronized, multi-theater action same second, different continents. Interludes inside the Directorate's sterile boardroom/ops room provide the chilling counterpoint. The antagonist perspective is clinical, managerial, and convinced of its own righteousness. The heroes aren't just racing to stop an attack, they're racing to prevent governance itself from being replaced, rebranded as stability, and enforced by private force and programmable truth. Convergence delivers the series' finale promise through set pieces that aren't spectacle for its own sake, but consequences of the theme: an urban pursuit inside a manufactured riot, summit protection that becomes a sabotage interdiction, a hardened communication/identity facility assaulted like civil infrastructure turned battle space, and a final strike on a fortified sanctuary where the Directorate runs the world like an operations center. Victory, if it comes, will not be free. The cost of being a ghost is that you can save the world and still never come home. At its core, this finale asks one terrifying question: if truth is